The world of Starfetcher starts here, in, America? I guess? Sanyadi is our main protagonist, actually. She's a she, because I just read from a Steam post that she's a she, and I need to remember that, because I'm fucking retarded. Sanyadi works at Bean Bob's, which is a shitty place. Call it grocery store, I suppose, while they slaughter pigs and hang them off their ceiling. This is either the most American shop ever, or just mentally deranged. Apparently you're in a night shift. You take the trash out and come back in, and then you meet your colleague. I don't even care to remember his name. It seems like this place already looks like a hellhole. So much of the first task you have is to kill a pig, which is kind of fucked up, honestly. And the moment you get the stick and smash it on the pig's head, this happens. And that moment is where Starfetchers really starts. Meet Zambezi, a fucking blonde psychopath that is convinced that she's the boss of the goddamn world or some shit. I honestly don't know anymore. Starfetchers revolves around the plot where the world has gone to absolute shit. I suppose that their plan was to give a representation of a future world that has completely gone off the rail, giving a bit of cyberpunkish feel to it. It's not very specified where we are. I just suppose it's Detroit 2.0, I guess. The story itself focuses on them both by giving them the gangster role and just making them commit mass murder in other gangster holes. And trying to climb the Tower of Success, or at least Zambezi's dream to conquer the tower, and at the top of the tower, the legend himself, Doghead, apparently one of the most notorious gangsters in the entire city, ready to kill and destroy and completely annihilate everything in its way. He apparently destroyed multiple gangsters, one of the worst. The photorealistic horse. In reality, in the long run, Doghead disappeared and rumors flew around he went insane. In the city its name is still discussed, and on the street its presence was known by the posters you can find. This mission of climbing the tower is mostly one-sided in reality, as Sanyadi never chose to climb this tower by herself, as she's way more passive and less prone to, turn to mass murder and katana slashing people now. It's not a choice that Sanyadi wanted to take in the first place. It was mostly a choice by Zambezi, and she was caught in the crossfire and she just went okay, because she chose not to be a loser anymore, which is sad and relatable. That's why Sanyadi is the best character, so fight me. Effectively, it doesn't stretch that much apart from Zambezi does Nene amidst mass arson, along with Sanyadi that wants chalky milk because she's tired of flashing people in mouth and burning their bodies. I should never write a script ever again. There are actually some bleeps and bloops and scenes that could give some plot threads that will much probably either reappear or get scrapped in the upcoming of episode 1 of this game series, which I actually hope comes soon. The characters are just amazing and lovable, and in just 40 minutes of gameplay, which is insane, as to learn about two people, it really takes a lot of time. You really love these two dogs you play with. Zambezi's is being overly chaotic and generally a straight up murderer, and a fucking rambler that doesn't stop spouting bullshit all the time. It's charming and almost incredibly hilarious, which most of the time is. While Sanyadi is more reserved, quiet, and more submissive, by sitting concerned in the Thorns and its decisions, giving overall a perfect mix of the two, making a very great and hilarious comedic duo. Overall, the entire world also makes you feel like you want to interact with the rest and just generally speak to all the citizens and explore the city. We are talking about a world, after all, that has lost all its meaning, having somewhat of a subplot to the world, just generally a different vibe that practically shares that the corporates destroyed entire cities because of their greed, and seeing people actually having a proper discussion with you about, for example, the past of the city, making you understand that before all of this wasn't there. There's effectively a scene with this beautiful scenario of a man looking above the world that we're exploring, sharing that it was possible to see the stars before, but now there's only smog. And that 20 essay page about a gold-headed android talking about economics, which I seriously found hilarious and incredibly disturbing. But I think that is the best fucking thing about Starfetchers. Just shows its hilarity and a seriously depressing tone in one package. Effectively, the ambient itself is amazing. I love the way that the game tried to represent itself through its color pattern and a stylistic choice to represent the Forbidden City. Just very slumpish, I would say, filled with trash, gangs, dead people, and just generally a dead city. The art style is amazing. I loved how they represented the characters. It's like Sanyari and Zambezi are the only one that actually look like normal human beings, while the others are just incredibly exaggerated, stupidly fucking dressed, or just flat out absolutely retarded. The world around you is very real. It mixes well, and it makes it look like a city during its Great Depression days, but also tries to be accommodating and somewhat relaxing, giving a mixed feeling of dread and beauty at the same time, with things like graveyards with oversized ominous crosses to a beautiful skylight, or two homeless people enjoying what they have but making the best out of nothing. Some things that I really liked about this ambient and generally how it was portrayed were these small cutscenes which were integrated into the pilot that really show a very beautiful and unique way to represent everything. They use tones of black and red in all of the cutscenes almost, and I really loved them all, and I felt like they were stylish as fuck. And with those camera shots, which I just seriously fucking loved. The story they portrayed was done seriously well, with its own color mix and mixing extremely well with the music and the beat of the songs which were playing in the background. In the end, really giving a wonderful vibe in a whole package, sending a message also about how the world really works there. Lawless, deranged and disconnected by a normal society. A place that if you step in with the wrong foot, you get shot and your organs will be sold as penis enlargement pills. This world is practically lost by pollution. Literally everybody owns a gun or a sword and a weaponry for some fucking weird reason. One thing that of course it's about to be discussed is the gameplay. The gameplay stands out a lot because you notice it from the start that it's quite, peculiar. Since the start it already tries to teach you the basics. It's practically like using a Wiimote while having a stroke. As bad as this sounds, it isn't bad at all effectively. It's very fun and it's quite easy the moment you get used to it. The AI is quite easily defeatable, which I thought it was somewhat disappointing. But I understand that this is a pilot and not a full-blown game. Starfetchers uses the mouse as if you control the blade itself, and it's very simple. Slash fast, kill fast, cut bullets in half while seeming like you're constipated, and do sick tricks mid-air while destroying your enemy. It's just a shame that it's a bit clunky, honestly. There's two different skills which our protagonists have, Sanyadi having the dropkick and Zambezi having the dash, which is overall way cooler, I'm not gonna lie to you. Both of them have bullet time, which is a good addition, but in my opinion, a bit too short. But honestly, who cares? Honestly, the gameplay itself can get stale very easily for many, and can be a very mixed bag because of its flaws. But for my personal experience, I was hooked multiple times to play it again and again. Mostly because it's actually pretty damn fun. And experimental things gave me excitement like a cat on crack cocaine anyway. I'm sure episode 1 will upgrade the combat system, so my point is still irrelevant anyway. Something we mentioned before also is the music. Dude, I don't know how I can stretch this out, but holy fucking shit. The music itself just connects so well to the game's ambience and style. The combat themes are amazing, and most of the scenes are set extremely well with the music, almost feeling like they were united as one in the game. Its vibe makes me want to go on a rooftop and become part of the Torrens and commit a little murder level of immersion. What a fucking phrase. It's incredibly well done and the songs are all bangers, which deserve to be listed. CONSTROBUZ really makes some fucking good music, and really deserve the support that it got from this game, which a lot of people loved of course. In the end, I feel like Starfetchers follows the story of our two beloved gangbangers. The events that happen during the game are small, but I wanted to mention one of those that actually show a very interesting setup of it all. After defeating the first gang, Zambezi and Sanyadi are actually convinced by the feds to do a gig for them so that they can get some cash. And as any criminal organization, everything starts with a capital. So you can imagine Zambezi's reaction by this. After practically slashing their way through prison members and trying to find a way to the cell of this person that the feds were searching for, we found out that they killed themselves. After all, this was for nothing. Our protagonists are brought back to the slums, literally left 4 miles away from the city, but with some money in their pockets. As Zambezi is happy about their success as criminals, Sanyadi instead is still unsure about her life decisions and what she wants to actually do with herself, showing a conflict between the two, where Zambezi doesn't want to be a loser, while Sanyadi is still unsure this is the right way. There's this last beautiful scene that I actually wanted to share last, as it is the most powerful of them all. It's just Sanyadi with a background filled with trash and a small pond reflecting her body, and I like that making the tower so bright as she puts herself on one knee and pets the thing that she killed at the start of the game, as she states, "I just don't know if this is the way." A world of destruction, of gangs that have taken the city, and the things that we have to do to survive in it.